Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Deep Depth Episode 4. And today's guest is a very special guest. And today we're going to be diving to the deep end with him. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on to the show. Very good friend of mine, ATW OLEK, Alex Wokalek. How's it going, brother? Welcome to the deep end, my friend.
Appreciate it, man. I've been waiting for this for a while to hop on the show. And let's get it started.
I'm super excited, man. What'd you do today? What you been up to, bro? What you been up to?
Man, just, I've been writing a lot of music. I've been going to school at the same time as well, and planning some music videos as well. I'm already doing one currently, and I have a lot of music going on, and I have a lot in the vault. Can't wait to give it to the audience, for them to listen to it and enjoy my music. I have a lot of things, yeah.
Oh man, I'm so hyped to hear that, and I already know it's gonna turn out good. I just feel it, and it's very important that we always keep the consistency going, so people can see our craft, so people can see our potential. So I'm loving the work, man. So let's dive right into it, bro. I like to start with the usual cliche question before getting into your music or anybody's music and chopping it up. What lights the fire in you to be so creative with your music, and what has pushed you to come this far to continue your music?
Honestly, it's been since like my father's passing. He really got me into music when I was around the age of 5. He showed me. We went to the store. I think it was like Target or Best Buy, and he picked up a CD of "Get Rich or Die Trying" by 50 Cent, classic album.
Classic.
Yeah, so I played it. He played it, and once I heard those 2 quarters going down with like gun cocking back, I was like, oh, wow, this is something. And then I heard the thing, and I was like, wow, this is one of my favorite genres. So I listened to that all the time after his passing because it reminds me of him. I listened to a lot of Biggie, Eminem at the time, old school stuff. And then I got slowly into like the new stuff, like Uzi, Kid Cudi, and all the people I look up to. And now, and then ever since then, me and my cousin sat down one time at his place, and we had a sleepover. And we're like, dude, honestly, like, we love music so much, might as well just, like, make a song out of it. Like, make a song or something, that'd be really awesome. And we're, like, writing down stuff or, like, goofing around. And then for me, it hit me, like, in high school. Because I remember high school, I would just, like, write on the back of my notebook, like, rhymes and stuff. And once I got into to college, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna actually try to go to the studio. And my girlfriend that I'm with right now, she's like, yeah, honestly, just go for it. Try it. Might as well try it. Then you regret it in the future, right? So I said, yeah, let's do it. Might as well. I'm gonna pay like how much, whatever it was, like $150 or something to go to the studio. Huh. I was like, yeah, let's do it. I did one song. I was so hyped. It sounded so good at the time. And I looking at it back, I'm just like,
oh no,
it's all right.
It's all right.
I wasn't too confident either. So, and I was at a party, and so my voice was gone and everything. So it had a cool effect to it, but I grew a lot from that as well. But from sparking up like my creativity a lot, I just listened to other people's music, just like any artists or local artists around the area in Chicago. I just listened to them, and I catch a vibe, and I'm just like, okay, this is something I kind of want it to be. And then from there, I just like pick up flows, think of something different. I don't even always listen to hip hop. I always listen to like indie rock or some alternative music or anything else.
It sparks creativity.
Exactly, definitely does. And it's important for a lot of people to also experiment with themselves, not stick to one genre, or at least just listen to something different to spark that creativity. Anything honestly sparks my creativity. Like even like watching something on a movie or whatever, like I see a car and something like, the back of the car model and stuff. I'm like, okay, that'd be cool to add it to a song, whatever. But yeah, that's what usually sparks my creativity a lot, yeah.
And that's beautiful here. And I think the big important thing is us listening to different types of genres of music instead of just staying in one, because I think that, like you said, it sparks creativity.
Oh, yeah,
it makes us explore deeper into their culture. Mm-hmm. I remember like having Auntie on last episode. He was talking about listening to UK rap and stuff like that, how that sounds, a bit different, how they got their own thing going on. And I think that's just really, really dope and really, really, I think, important to not only listen to other types of music, but also kind of connect with, trying different foods from around the world, trying to learn different languages. It sparks creativity. It sparks, just a big, broad, level of genius when you put into crafting to your music, which is very important, like you said. Now, how important is the process of analyzing your old work in order to improve your new music and its creativity? Because nowadays we've seen some mainstream artists, for example, this is my personal opinion, Nav. I felt like Nav coming onto the scene was really, really good, but I feel like over time he still kind of sounded a bit of the same in my opinion. Listening to his music, that's just one example. And they'll sound fire and catch, like I said, in the beginning, but of course later on they just sound pretty much the same. How important is it for you to always be different with your music? Because I feel like that's what audience and listeners look for nowadays: difference in music, creativity of music, that bit of a different X factor that some artists don't have. How important is that?
Honestly, for my music, I try to always be different with each and every single track. So I try not to be repetitive. Uh, but yeah, I definitely understand what you're trying to say. I do see a repetitiveness in some artists, but then the ones that take their time to release something, you could tell like, wow, that is a different sound, or that is a different instrumental that I did not expect they would jump on. Like Uzi Vert on a New York drill beat. You're like, what? No way. And so yeah, I forgot what that song was called, but that was a good song. But yeah, I usually try to pick out the beats that I think resemble me and what I could bring out to the fans, and they would enjoy it as well. I try to be as different as possible with flows, hooks, even like constructing them in different ways. So like instead of having hook, verse, outro. That's
Hook, verse.
yeah, it's just having that. It's good to have like a verse and then have a hook, then have like a little bridge, and then you go into another verse, or you have someone else hop on the song. Yeah, I've been noticing that is a lot though. Like people do need to expand a little bit more on their sound for sure.
Yeah, and I asked that because, like I said, I've noticed some mainstream artists that kind of don't do that with their craft, and in my eyes, as a listener of music, I really like to seeing that difference in their craft. Like I love hearing like odd, weird sounds. Like for example, like Kid Cudi, like he always does something unique and creative, and that's
Yeah.
why Kid Cudi is a freaking legend. Now, what are some important skills you have to build before making music? Because I feel some say and really focus on just the voice. And don't get me wrong, the voice is super important. You want to have, the beautiful voice when it comes to music. I feel like there's some other things that people fail to miss a part of the skill set with music. So what would you say are a few skills you have to build before you started yourself?
Definitely flow and cadence. That was big. That was one of my biggest issues writing and going onto a track. Definitely like I feel like a lot of people didn't understand my lines when I showed it to maybe like an example to like my cousin or you or whatever. Like some of you guys didn't catch the line. I was like, okay, so I definitely try to improve as much as I can. Changing flows every couple of bars, 4 to 6 bars, you definitely need to change it to see a difference. I also want to say like going through, yeah, just mainly flows to be honest. It's that's been the biggest thing. Hooks for me always have been kind of pretty simple for me actually. Just like listening to like pop music. Pop music is what's the biggest thing? The hook.
The hook.
And the hook is like the super catchiest thing ever. Like Ellie Goulding lights. All she says is something something, and then lights throughout the whole song, and then it goes back to a verse that she went through throughout her history of her life. But yeah, that's how I mainly like help that's one of my strongest suits. Verses are like I'm still working on them, trying to improve and have different flows and have different bars and cadences as well. That's also another important one as well that a lot of people sometimes forget and don't go through it as much. But yeah, those were my strong suits and my weaknesses. But yeah, the voice is important, but also the song itself has to sound good sonically. Because if it doesn't like sonically good, it's like you could have the strongest bars, right? You could have like the deepest words, right? But then
Everything rhymes.
everything rhymes, or just like it's just perfect, right? Just the wordplay and everything. But then once you hear the song itself, it's like it doesn't go with the beat.
It
or
doesn't.
it
Yeah.
doesn't sound good. You should maybe have an effect on your voice, maybe some auto-tune or some reverb or some delay on it. You got to put some stuff into that as well. I've learned the hard way. I've listened to my music, like even on mix or mastered, I just would listen to it on my headphones. I'm just like, yeah, there's something missing. I might have to go and redo it, or tell the guy, like, honestly, like, I know you've been doing your hardest to engineer this, but I kind of need you to put a little bit more effort into it, But yeah, I try to have an atmospheric sound, so it's like it feels like you're going somewhere, but I also want my lyrics to feel like you can relate to and you feel something that you've been through, or something kind of like clicks in your head, something nostalgic. And usually that's the type of beats I kind of choose, something nostalgic, so it hits you in your head really well. And you're like, wow, this really hits me right now. Even if it's hard, smooth, or kind of a sad song, like I go for all emotions, each and every track. I try to hit aggression, having hype, or going through sadness, and telling you my story, and then I can maybe give you advice through my songs to give you advice on how to keep yourself up, feel better, and do better. That's one of my biggest goals, is to just help people if they feel bad about themselves or anything, just to hype them up and get them going again.
And I think that's super important, because nowadays with how big and toxic social media has become,
Yeah.
and where mental health has gone such a long way, how some people get anxiety and get depressed. We need more of that nowadays, and I feel like music is such a big thing that people can lead towards too. For me, whenever I was sad and depressed, I would go to Juice WRLD. I would listen to a lot of Juice WRLD. He would get me hyped, with his creativeness, how he talked about his life. And I think that's super important that us listeners can connect with that artist, because I feel like when you don't connect with the artist, you don't have that path to redemption for yourself, to where you can be happy moving forward 24/7. And that's just super important, super important.
Yeah, that's how I feel with Kid Cudi. Whenever, like, in high school, I was truly depressed. I was in a bad time. I would just listen to him all the time. I do recommend, for people that want some healing with music, definitely listen to Pageant Pain and Demon Slain. Underrated album by Kid Cudi. One of the best ones. It's so euphoric.
I agree.
There's a bounce to it. There's some happy songs in there, but there's also, he's spreading a message on how to find himself through love and through creativity, and how he feels drowned, and he could, rise above to swim in the light again, which is one of the songs that I like. It's called Swim in the Light. But yeah, that was
a very good album. That was a good shot. That was a good shot. Now let's jump right into Over the Limit.
Over the limit, rocking them shades like I'm John Lennon. You can imagine where I'm headed. Praying for my life to get to heaven, but it feels like I'm going through hell. Never ever selling myself.
Over the Limit. And before we jump into the lyrics, I've always found the titles of songs interesting, as it's like a movie and a book. Don't judge on the cover or title. Just give it a watch.
Yeah.
Or read, and from there analyze it. When you make it, when you make that title to your song, what's the importance to tell that story? Because what I got from this song was a story on you pushing yourself past the extreme. Also, what was it like shooting your first music video? Because that music video was super cold. And what was your approach that day, mentally and physically, before going on camera shooting? Because I would be somewhat nervous, to shoot a music video.
Yeah.
I remember, fun fact for you guys, a while ago, I had Alex on a very old podcast of mine called Board Talk. And bro, I listened to it the other day. It was so airy in the background. I was like, hey guys, welcome to Board Talk. And then there was just a long pause from your end. It was like, hey guys, I'm Alex. And bro, it was so awkward of how we were just with the long pause and stuff like that. But again, that nervousness, it prepared us, and now look where we're at, elevated for elements. But yeah, how important is, with the process of making that title work for your songs? Like I said, we shouldn't judge it like a movie or the cover of the book. And what was your mental and physical approach to shooting your first music video?
Man, so that's how I got the title of it, is just like the instrumental itself, it spoke to me. It gave me a drive. I saw a blue, I'm very imaginative person. So I saw the electrifying blue, and then I saw this energy. I felt some type of energy I wanted to just work out and go crazy at, Over the Limit, I just wanted something so I could push the people to go crazy with themselves, I don't
Push
know,
yourself,
anything, literally, pushing over the limit, right?
Why you stopping at 10 push-ups? Do 15. Do 5 more.
Yeah,
Don't stop at
exactly.
15.
Yeah.
Do a couple more. Do 20.
Exactly. Yeah, it's more for
20,
like,
25. Keep going.
just keep going, bro. Do it.
Oh,
You
God.
got it. One more. You know,
Yeah. Everybody gets hyped.
yeah. That song is Over the Limit, pushing yourself, obviously. And so that song is about just as you as a person, as much as you go through so many bad things in life, don't hesitate. Just keep pushing. Just keep going. Even though if it's really hard to keep pushing it more, just keep doing it. Don't worry about what's going on to the right side, to the left side, what's behind you. Just keep going.
Keep going forward.
Exactly.
We got 2 legs. We got to use them. We got to keep going forward.
But I was going to name that song actually On My Own, because in the middle of the song, it transitions to Oh My, Oh My,
Oh my own.
Oh,
Yeah.
right? So that's also a thing. It's basically about...
Yeah, the John Lennon shades.
Yeah, rocking them shades like John Lennon. Yeah, so that's also for you to just push yourself, feel confident in yourself, and you got everything on yourself, you know, on my own. You got it. Yeah, that's the song, you know. That's what all it's about. What's more to that question?
And the music video, like, well,
Oh, the music video.
like, what was your
Correct.
approach that day?
Totally.
What was your approach that day?
Yeah, so me and my friend Rafa, we just sat down and we're like, okay, we got to make like a cool story out of this, or make something cool out of it. Just like Over the Limit, it reminds me of the speedometer on the car. So I'm just like, maybe we should do something with cars. He's like, yo, that'd be kind of fire. And he kind of suggested some ideas as well. And I'm just like, okay, cool. So we got, I got myself a space, and, you know, I did my own thing. And then another friend, his name is Dimitro. He was like, oh, let's do a car meet. Let's go to a car meet. I know a couple of people. They're down to, you can sit in their car or whatever and do whatever you want. Okay, sure. So then we went.
Okay, that's sick.
Yeah, it was last minute too. We were supposed to meet with some other guy. He had a BMW i8, a Mustang in different colors and all this stuff. Fortunately, it didn't go through. So he's like, all I could do for you is get a car meet, you know? I'm like, all right, cool, let's do it, whatever. So we went to this car meet, and then we asked this guy that has like a Dodge Challenger, and he was just like, he was about to drift. And then my Dimitri went like, yo, you don't mind if my buddy and his other friends are gonna record? He wants to drift around you, to drift around him. I'd be like, that'd be so fire. And so he went, and in the video you could see it when I'm like, oh my. And then you could see how the car is just drifting around me. Like,
That's so sick.
It was scary, but it was worth it. It was so fun. Like, my friend was recording me, and then I was just like, you know, do what I got to do for the camera.
Right.
And then the car was just spinning. Like, I was like, dude, if we had one more camera guy doing like footage from like, you know, a drone, it would have been so dope, bro. But we got some drone footage as well.
Oh, okay.
In that video, you could definitely see it. It's in the intro, and I think somewhere in the middle part. But yeah, no, I felt fun, confident. It was a fun experience, meeting new people. Got new followers on Instagram. Hopefully, one of those people checked out my music and stuff. But yeah, it was cool meeting new people and seeing different places. Yeah, it was honestly like, as people think it's stressful to do the music video. No, it's not.
It's fun.
It's so fun. You got to make it fun. You got to make it like, you got to like whatever, how you felt in that song, how you rapped it, how, you know, how you express yourself, if it's singing or rapping or whatever you
Like
did.
the Rush Hour bloopers.
Yeah, you just gotta have fun. You just gotta like let yourself go and do whatever you want to do, however you feel, however you act. It's you. You can't just be like, oh, I don't want to express myself through music. I don't want to see people see my face. And I was like that. I didn't want people to see my face. I wanted to be this
I'm glad you weren't like
mysterious artist, right?
They put on this mask, so I'm mysterious.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
I'm not Marshmallow.
Oh God, like what
You
the
know,
fuck?
so I tried to I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna just be me. ATW OLEK, what are you gonna do?
That would have been sick, like a black mask that just says ATW on the forehead. It's just no. But that was sick of the car meet. How you just like came by, I was like, hey, can we shoot a music video? Like I know you guys are drifting, but can we?
Bro, they were super cool. Honestly, like people think that, oh, you don't want to bother them, they're in their bubble, dude. They people will give you a chance to do anything in life, even if it's not music, even if it's not like it could be anything too.
Especially if you see the approach, you see the confidence in you.
See the confidence, or see how you act, then, you know, they'll trust more in you and stuff, you know. So just gotta be straight up with them, and you could get through a lot of ways, to be honest, just with confidence. Like I'm telling you, confidence is key.
Confidence
no joke.
is key.
Confidence is key.
If you ain't first, you're last. So you gotta have that
If you ain't
confidence.
first, you're last.
Oh God. Now let's dive into the beginning of the song, Pushing Over the Limit. Pushing over the limit, rocking my shades like John Lennon. You can imagine where I'm heading, praying for my life to get to heaven. But it feels like I'm going through hell. Never ever selling my soul. Sorry from the bottom I grow. Need no help on my own. So break down that beginning part for me.
Pushing over the limit, rocking them shades like I'm John Lennon. You can imagine where I'm headed. So John Lennon always had glasses, or sometimes he would wear shades.
Shout out to John.
Yeah, rest in peace, John Lennon. Yeah, I listened to him when I was younger. My dad played a lot of his music at the time. He played multiple genres, like how to this day, I listen to multiple genres. Sometimes I'll listen to the Beatles, because that's what I grew up on. And then, so, yeah, I put that in because obviously it's a reference to one of the GOATs, one of the legends.
Absolutely.
And then you can imagine where I'm headed. He made a song called Imagine All the People. It's a really good song. Yeah, that was one of the things I try to, point out. You can imagine where I'm headed, praying for my life, to get to heaven. God is always with me, and God is always on my side. I do believe in God. And so I know that he could help me through. I've been through worse as from a kid to how I am now. He has helped me through a lot, school, family-wise. My health and everything. He's helped me through everything. So that's why I am a believer in God. And then praying for my life to get to him, but it feels like I'm going through hell. And earth, honestly, there's some hell on earth for sure. There's a lot of people that are just toxic, and their energy their energy is so off, and it's just it does feel like when I meet some sort of people, I'm not saying everyone is like this, but there are people where they have such really bad negative vibes, and I do not mess with,
I can't be around that, bro. I like being around people that are positive, people that are like smiling, trying to have fun. And that's the point in life. You just like, it's a journey,
Yeah.
Because and I just want to like kind of get into this.
Go for it.
If you don't live through a bad day, you won't know what truly a good day is. If we were just handed $1 million, we don't know what true hard work is. If we never got into an argument during our relationship, we don't know what true love is.
Facts.
So we have to go through some of these obstacles. We have to go through some of these trials to make us stronger. And I think that's what's super important, because going through hell, like you said, how you're going to get to heaven, you got to go through some hell first. We all have some demons to face,
Always.
We all had some failures, That's another thing. You don't know what true success is if you never experienced true failure.
Thanks.
If you've never, let's say, like, I don't know, you got rejected like multiple times, and like, you just can't, can't get one, but finally you do. And then that feeling is amazing. So my message to the people out there is, no matter what bad day you go through, just know that bad day will prepare that amazing day for you down the line. Like how you said, going through hell to get to heaven. In order to get to heaven, I have to go through some of the downs. And that's what's super important. I
do agree. And with adding that on, it creates the person you are today. It's either you have multiple paths to choose, and multiple people to just sit down and talk to. And it just depends on how you choose your life to be. Do you want to have a positive life and you want to live good? Well, you have to go through some hardships, some rejections and stuff. But it does create you as a person. It makes you a lot more stronger, for sure. That helped me a lot. My dad taught me a lot of stuff. I do mention him a lot, but he did help me through. He told me how people are. Like he spoke to me if I was 38 at the time, and that's when he passed away.
Wow.
So he spoke to me like I was a grown man. So he told me what type of people to watch out on, and how to just how to be in life and everything, But yeah, and then the last lyric to that song, going through hell, never ever selling my soul. Started from the bottom and then we grow. Need no help, I'm on my own. So I definitely hear a lot of things and a lot of speculations online where people sell their soul, which is, through contracts or satanically wise or whatever, So I definitely don't want to go through that. And contracts.
I want to see you wearing all red one.
Yeah,
one
right.
Day.
Yeah.
So, I got no peace.
Yeah, right. No, there's so many contracts, and there's so many things like there's artists that no one even heard of, right? They're supposed to be promised so many things. Oh, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get that. Turns out to be they didn't get no listens. They turn out to be they have no concerts. They have nothing, and they're in debt with them, and they have to pay that $1,000,000 or $100,000 back. Hell no, I'm not doing that. And so, yeah, I'm gonna stick to myself. You know, whoever is out there is gonna co-sign. I appreciate it, but if anything, let me know what's going on. I'd rather talk about it first and read the contracts and stuff before than, you know, just putting myself out there. Oh, because I want that money. You know, there was a whole thing.
500 grand. Oh, let's go. And
exactly. It shows in Straight Outta Compton. If you ever watched that movie, it's the same situation. You know, like movie. Ice Cube was like, bro, can I get the check? No, you have to sign the contract. Get out of here. I'm not gonna sign the contract. I'm gonna do my own thing. So I definitely want to do my own thing, and I also mean that in a way of, I'm gonna do the music I want to do. You know, no one's gonna tell me, oh, do this, do that, or that's not the way you're supposed to portray yourself. Well, this is me. I'm not gonna listen to how you want me to portray. I'll listen to advice for sure, but I'm not gonna be forced. You know, it all depends. You know, you could give a lot of advice to a person, but are they gonna take it or are they gonna change it? All depends on them.
Yeah, because you could sit down with a person for like hours, be like, look, bro, this is how you have the right posture when you lift, bro. This is what you're supposed to eat on a daily basis. And they'll be like, you know what, man, you're right. I got to start doing that. And they just don't do it, bro. They just don't do it the next day. Back to, you know, being
all bark, no bite, you know.
All bark, no bite, like you said, bro. And now proceeding to the next line. Yeah, shaking and rocking the boat. Yeah, going through it, hitting them waves. But I got it under control. I was one losing my grip. Pull myself up, never let go. Put in the grind, learn the ropes. Testing my limits like Rocky, yo. Now I'm dripping like Ricky Ho. Now, hearing that Rocky line and the build up to it gives me a story of how you handling these major tidal waves, which are obstacles that had you on your heels, but you're fighting with everything you got, like Rocky. What were some obstacles you might have faced in music or outside of music that made you stronger if you have faced any obstacles along the way inside the music circle or outside the music circle in your personal life?
My personal life, so those lyrics definitely dedicate to how I live my life, how I went through my life and how I'm living it and coping with my the decisions I made and how many, you know, hardships I went through and stuff. I definitely, those lyrics definitely mean a lot. Where life to me is like a boat. There's gonna be waves hitting you, obviously.
It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Yeah, so that's why I'm shaking and rocking the boat, going through, hitting them waves, but I got it under control. So I definitely won't drown in the water. I definitely got everything controlled. I was the one losing my grip. Yeah, I was the one. Yeah, so I did lose my grip a bunch of times throughout my life, but I got myself up with my other hand and put myself up and climbed that ladder and kept on going. But yeah, the Rocky line is actually a double entendre. I don't know if people testing my limits like I'm Rocky.
Oh,
so testing like A$AP Rocky's album, and then Rocky as in Rocky Balboa. So yeah, so testing my limits, and he did that throughout all the movies as well. In the sequels, he was testing his limits. He literally did when he went with Apollo. With Apollo Creed, he was running with him and stuff to get stronger and better. And then once he passed away, he got more angry, and then he went to Russia and, you know, was literally going through, you know, lifting logs and stuff. You know?
If you train in Russia, you're
you're beast mode. Yeah, beast and then mode. You had the other guy working on machines and stuff. But yeah, nothing was more better than, you know, natural sources around you. But going back to those lyrics and stuff, I do. I love Testing album for sure. Not a lot of people like it because obviously it has in the name. It's testing. It's, you know, it's not going to be a perfect album, but it has sounds. I love sounds, like different sounds. I mentioned it earlier. Sounds are just so amazing just to listen to. Like hearing something like, oh, birds chirping in a song and then a trap beat.
You hear like a little triangle ding.
Whatever, yeah, right. But yeah, that's those lyrics definitely say that I've been through a lot. There's a lot of slip ups for sure, but I got myself up, and that I want that to go towards people to understand that, even though you go through a lot of hard and terrible things throughout your life, you could just get yourself up and you could, definitely carry yourself throughout. It doesn't like you will have people to help you, and don't worry about it. You're not alone. There's always going to be people around you to help you and to cope with your feelings. But most of the time, you gotta also talk to yourself. People think talking to yourself is not a normal thing. A lot of people do. Come on, like people just don't want to,
No, I talk to myself.
Exactly. I talk to myself as well. Like Alex and ATW OLEK are two different people, kind of, in a sense. And so I definitely want Alex kind of speaks to ATW OLEK, and he creates this music and stuff like that. But yeah, also that those lyrics also mean to me how I went through my father's death, and it was super heavy on me. My uncle's and my father's. It was literally back-to-back months. It was literally July and August, so back-to-back. 2016, which everyone I talked to, they're like, 2016 summer was such a banging summer. It was. It was.
It was for me too.
Yeah.
It's my top three summers. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool, but those deaths definitely took a toll on me a little bit. But now I kind of like cope with it now, talking to myself, and I kind of like talk to my dad, kind of in a sense, like as of energy, like he's somewhere around me. I always feel like someone's always like on my back or something, I definitely want to like get a tattoo of that, If my father had a cool tattoo.
That would be so beautiful.
He had a tattoo where it was like yin and yang, and then it was attached to like two Native American feathers.
Oh, that's so dope.
I always asked him like, "What does that mean?" And he said, "It means I'm sometimes a good person, sometimes I'm a bad person." I was like, "Okay, that's dope."
See, that's as real as it gets,
Yeah.
And I think that's super important for us humans out there nowadays, because I feel like some of us can't admit that badness. And like the wise man said, I'd rather you be an actual asshole than pretend to be a nice guy. Be you.
Oh,
like if you like, I don't like people that are assholes. Like I'll gladly get away from you. Kick rocks. But generally speaking, like just be yourself, because I feel like nowadays what society is lacking is our authentic selves. Whenever we see a trend, whenever we see like a little cool group, all of a sudden we like to change ourselves. We like to be a part of them. Just be you. If you wanna get mad at me, for whatever fucking little reason, go ahead. It doesn't bother me.
That honestly, that's honest. When I go to events, to music events, to even perform or to even like participate in. One of them I'm not gonna mention. I'm not gonna say the name of it. I don't want to say anything bad about them. But when I met those people that like I look up to, they were like very weird. I was like, "Hey man, I love what you do," and stuff like that. And he like backed off, and he was like, "Oh, you good, bro?" I'm like, "What do you mean I'm good?" I'm good. I just want to take a picture. I'm just trying to speak to you. And you want something or whatever? And so, yeah, it was a weird experience. And just that whole day around those types of people was just so like toxic. And that's what I mean with bad energy.
Wait, you were trying to get a picture?
Yeah, so I did.
I would have been like, "Hey, yo, take a look."
Yeah. So I did get the picture, but the interaction was just so off, so weird. But I do want to, like, I'm a guy that I'm not going to think about myself like, "Oh, this was terrible," But he probably had something on his side that was going on in his head. But still, like, if I'm coming in with respect,
had a shitty day.
Give me respect back, If I give you my hand, you're supposed to shake my hand, right? That's how it should be.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's a lot of weird experiences like that. But yeah, those are what the lyrics mean a lot to me. Yeah, and I hope people can, I guess,
Really connect with it.
And
that's beautiful. Now, the last line I want to dive in on this song.
Go for it.
The whole family going through pain. Better not cross me. Stay in your lane. I see you, LeVar. Making this music, keeping me sane. All you motherfuckers drive me insane. Now, break this part from you. And what was it about music that keeps you sane, as you said? And how much does music help you when you said all those motherfuckers drive you insane? And by the way, the LeVar thing was just a joke.
Yeah, no, that was cool. That was funny. Yeah, so sometimes people to me are like a very annoying noise, like, or a very annoying tap. Just keep constantly just talking.
That fly in the summer, you just want to swat.
It's like, music for me is like just quiet, just silence, So with music, it helps me grow a lot. as a person, and sometimes there is music that will teach you about their life lessons and what they went through. Definitely, yeah. So sometimes people just talk too much. They just talk too much, and it gets a little annoying. And sometimes I feel like people are actually NPCs in this life. So I feel like they actually just say the same thing over and over again, even though you told them that the first time, they're gonna say it the second time, the next day, and then next week, next month. They kind of repeat themselves a lot. But you know, that's how they are. And yeah, sometimes I just put on my headphones, and music does help me. Like, it puts me into a place. Like, it literally feels like I'm putting an Iron Man suit, and then I just start writing. Once I find an instrumental for me and everything like that, and I sit down in a good place where I can sit down and write my lyrics on my phone or wherever, I just sit down, listen to the music through headphones or speakers, and it relaxes me. I write the things that I connect. I don't write my songs where it's like, fuck my bitch, yeah, yeah, this is what, yeah, no. I just,
you're snitching, yeah.
yeah, you know, I kind of like sit down, listen to what the vibe is, the instrumental. I would listen to the instrumental like for 20 hours in total. Like, now I'm saying in a row.
Oh,
like
I
a
was about to
couple
say
of
that,
times, you
bro. I was
know.
like-
I would listen to it a couple of times even before I start anything. Then I listen to a song, and I'm like, okay, I like how he's repetitive. And then I go back to it, and I'm just like, oh. And I ask my little brother, I'm like, what do you think? He's like, yeah, that's pretty fire. Okay, next line. What do you think of that? Not bad. Yeah, that's cool. What about this? Oh, that's good. Yeah, keep going. I'm like, okay. So I start writing to the point where I forgot
Yeah, like a
there's
little rhythm going, yeah.
there's a rhythm. There's an artist or someone that said something about having once you catch on ideas and stuff, like how you write questions or how I write music or anything like that. Once you catch on to a rhythm, don't stop it. Just keep going. Once it stops, you know? But just keep going with that rhythm, because then you will never get it back. You'll never have that same feeling or that same energy once you go back to it. But yeah, sometimes there's times where I write the song, and I'm just like, did I write that? It's kind of like, it's weird. I wake up the next morning, I like read it, or I play it.
It's like a weird good feeling.
Yeah, it's like, no way I wrote that. That's a whole different person, you know? So I'm just like, it gets me really
Was that
shocked.
ghostwriter?
Yeah, myself. Wow, what a surprise! But yeah, no, that's one of the things that's really fun about writing too, you know. But yeah, go ahead though.
Now, proceeding to the next song. As a Chicagoan, I really want to say this. This song you wrote out straight from the Shy was so beautifully wrote out. I loved it. And now the fact.
I'm straight from the shack, beautiful city, beautiful people. Give us respect that we ain't equal. Friction with the odds.
And now the fact you gave Chicago like a story of what it's like to live here, the good and of course the bad, because you know it's just pretty shitty sometimes. And it's detailed in these few lines into the beginning of the song. I'm straight from the Shy, beautiful city, beautiful people. Give us respect or we ain't equal. Friction with the ops is too lethal, it really is. Watch your back, head on the swivel. Losing our loved ones little by little. Now, as you said, there's beautiful people, must be respected, you know, it has to be maintained. But if it isn't, you have friction with others, you know.
Facts.
What have you learned about Chicago throughout your life that maybe inspired you and create this path that you're taking with music? You know, let's say, you know, whether it's, you know, passing by a couple, you know, streets and you've seen like, you know, certain struggles and you've seen certain people like, you know, grinding through the mud. What was it that kind of fueled you to kind of create this song?
What made me create this song is definitely like I listened to another song. I forgot. I think I just listened to "Homecoming" by Kanye West featuring Chris Martin, and he was talking about Chicago. And then I listened to like a couple of Little Baby tracks, the way he flows, and I was like, straight from the shot. And I had this like it goes really well with the instrumental. So for me, like, obviously, like my dad always said, I was like, my dad asked me one time as a kid, and he's like, "Oh, what do you think of Chicago?" I'm just like, I mean, it's all right, because we never really went to like downtown. We just kind of stuck. We did the same thing every day, you know, just go to a grocery store, go home, go to the store, maybe get a game or whatever, right? And then it'd be like, once I got older and saw downtown and stuff, and then my dad always said like, "Oh, I love Chicago. Chicago's beautiful, like a beautiful city." And so I was like, So I thought about it. And I wrote that song like 5, 6 in the morning. I just couldn't sleep. And so I found the instrumental. I was like, dude, I can't sleep. So what else am I supposed to do than just lay here in my bed? So I put on my headphones and I was just listening to an instrumental. And I just wrote, I'm straight from the Shy. Beautiful city, beautiful people.
That's so dope.
And so, yeah, I just wrote the hook. And then the next day I wrote like the verse and everything as well. But what Chicago represents is love and hate, you know? Apparently it's the second most beautiful city in the world. I think number one is Dubai, I'm guessing, right? I'm pretty sure. I read that in an article or something. But yeah, I do love Chicago. I do go to downtown now frequently. I get off and I go up the stairs from the CTA train. I'm just like, wow, these buildings are like, a lot of hard work went through these buildings. And yeah, there is some people. There's a lot of homeless people. If I had the money, I would have gave it to them, or if I had the people, speed dial, I would help them and stuff. Like I literally saw the other day, I was on the train and I saw a woman literally like she had no socks, no shoes. She straight up just had sandals, and like her nails were just long and ashy and everything, and then she had like wounds around her legs, and I was like, holy crap, there's some bright sides to the city and there's some dark sides. There's a lot of people that are closed-minded and they think, oh, I'm gonna have this and this, and they're already living a good life. The fact that there's people like that are going through like a lot of pain, without having a house, and just stealing, and then you're yelling in the train or the bus, oh, $5 for a wireless charger, like, can you please buy this from me, just because they want food, or maybe do drugs, just so they cope with their emotions and stuff. But yeah, to me, that's Chicago. Like I said, it's beautiful, but it's also ugly with the city and how the people treat the city. Yeah, like there's beautiful buildings and there's some that are like, dude, I don't want to be here. But
passing by like a block of like
yeah.
You know what? We shouldn't be here.
Exactly.
We should probably take a U-turn.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I had my fair share with Chicago. I've been born here, so I definitely I can't say it's a perfect city or perfect world. I went through the bad, the good, the bad, the ugly.
And what I love about Chicago, like the good parts, the diversity, the food.
That's what I love.
The sports culture. Yeah. I'm big on the sports culture. In my humble opinion, I believe Chicago is the best American fan base. When the Bulls are winning, when the Bears are winning, when the Cubs are winning, there is no better fan base like us. Like you saw last year when the Bulls were doing good, that United Center was damn near almost every game packed out because we haven't seen a winning season in ages since.
I still remember when the Cubs won. From my house,
there was 2 million more Cubs fans out of nowhere.
50 minutes away with traffic to Chicago, downtown Chicago, and I literally came out I was in my house and I hear like fireworks and everything going on to
fly the W. And I was
because Chicago Cubs and they represent Chicago. Amazing, So that I can't forget. That was a beautiful.
It's iconic franchise too,
Oh yeah, it was so cool. And then the next day, everyone had Chicago Cubs hats and stuff.
And other fans,
obviously, the other ones, the White Sox came in, and there was no like fights or anything. But it was cool, yeah. But yeah, no, the diversity is amazing. As a kid, I thought there was just because I grew up as a Polish little kid, so I was like, oh, I'm guessing there's more Polish people. And I didn't grow up in a Polish area. I grew up more like Hispanic area.
Same here. When our parents first came to America.
So I was like, they speak a different language. Like, what is this? The food tastes good and stuff. I was like, And then so I made a lot of Hispanic friends throughout my life. And then obviously I met you. So you're Bosnian. I was like, in high school, I was like, what the hell is Bosnia?
I get that so much, bro.
I was like, Bosnian, like, what is that,
Where's that at?
Yeah, I didn't know at the time, but now, like, I love geography, so I know, like, I've met a lot of people that are, Guatemalan and Mexican or Bosnian or Russian, Polish, and I've met so many through high school. Our high school is very diverse. You gotta, yeah, that was really diverse. You had it basically all around the world. It was insane. But yeah, it was hard for me. I was the only white kid in my middle school, And I won't forget going to the
Really?
I won't forget going to the bathroom, and these two classmates of mine were like, "Hey, yo, man, you kind of look like Slim Shady." And I'm just like, "Bro, that's so He's like, "Nah, bro, he's cool though." I'm just like, "All right, like, why?" Because at the time I had a buzz cut, white T-shirt, baggy pants, and like Nike shoes, so I did look kind of like him. And they're like, "Yeah, you look like Eminem, man." I'm just like, "All right, cool, I guess." But yeah, they would say like, "Oh, because I'm white and stuff." You know, they would pick on me sometimes, but I honestly took that as a joke. But yeah, no,
That'd be a
it's
boost
cool.
of confidence for me.
Yeah. I was just like, yeah, cool. I'm white. Can't do anything much about it. You know, I see everyone as see-through. I see them clear. I don't see like color or race. Like I treat you the same as I would treat myself. You know, respect and love and gratitude and everything towards each other. That's all I'm trying to spread, and that's how I just want to live a regular life. Like not a regular life, but just live
Peace.
with peace. You know.
Same here. I'm with
Yeah.
you because I feel like, look, all of us are the same. You know, our bloods are red. You know, it ain't fucking pink. Blue blood. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we use our eyes to see. We use our voice to speak. We have hair to comb. If you don't have hair, we have bald head to shine. So what's the difference between us? Ain't no difference. We're all the same.
There's no difference, to be honest.
Ain't no difference.
Under the skin is the same thing.
Absolutely.
We have a heart. It's the same thing with cars. Yeah, they might be labeled Audi and BMW and Honda and whatever, but they all have four wheels, right? They're still cars.
We're still cars, you know.
We're all human beings. I don't think we should have diversity, but I do respect the culture and stuff.
I love
each
exploring
country
different
celebrates.
types of cultures. Like I had a classmate of mine like a while ago in high school. I was just like, "Hey, where are you from?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago." I'm like,
Whoa.
That's that one team I don't use in like FIFA World Cup 2014.
Yeah.
Trinidad. And then I remember one time he showed me, like how it looks over there and what they eat, and it looked amazing. And like I were talking about earlier, how I mentioned earlier, like, trying new things and stuff. I encourage people, start traveling, start trying new foods, because it could really start creating an open mind. And I think it's important to have an open mind in society, because I feel like nowadays people don't know how to put themselves in the other person's shoe. And I think it's super crucial, because there's kids right now that would, jump for a minimum wage. Like, for example, McDonald's. Like, there's kids like right now, like I would say, in factories that are like sewing sweaters and stuff like that, going through harsh times and harsh conditions. If they heard about minimum wage at McDonald's and stuff like that, they would even hesitate to jump for it. They would even hesitate. And I think all of us in America and, in stable economic countries have to truly be grateful for what we have. Because there's kids out there, there's people out there that would jump out with no hesitation for a good paying job to start with a beautiful life. And I think that's super, super important.
Definitely.
Now, moving on. Now, this part of the song was, not gonna lie, it made me tear up a bit. Yeah, this is my story. Hardworking mother, alcoholic father. Growing up broke with my little brother. Had a big change in 2016. I was just a kid and only 15. Lost my uncle, lost my father. In the summer, in a bad place. Pray to God to be in a better place. Making this music, chasing my dream. Popping no pills, not drinking codeine. I want to be in movies in a scene. Definitely a life story, you detailing what you face and how music fuels you. And I saw the music video and I really liked that, as it was like legit of like a timeline of events. And in a music video, how important is it for you to continue on this path, considering what you have lived through and how much it has fueled you to become the person and the artist you are today, displaying such beautiful music for the audience out there? By the way, such beautiful life storytelling bars. I feel like it definitely has helped many people out there, bro. I just want to say that. Very beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot, man. I just wanted to share my story with a lot of people.
Right.
I had a friend of mine in a class, and they told me that I was very like shy and I didn't really talk much in class. So they really did not know much about me. I was just, a student. And plus at that time I did not want to talk to anyone. It was my sophomore year. I was like, dude, I really don't want to talk to you. Like, obviously I talked to you because you were a freshman. I was a sophomore. So I spoke to people that made me feel good, or they don't really have to know me for who I am yet, but just enjoy life, just play basketball or eat something, have some type of fun activity. But yeah, I kept it super personal throughout high school. I didn't want people to have some type of, hey man, sorry for your loss. Oh, I'm so sorry. I did not want to hear that bullshit. I'm just like, dude, you don't give two fucks. You care about yourself, you know? Obviously, maybe there is some people that would have cared and I would have talked to them more or whatever, but
Right.
it is what it is. I'd rather keep it to myself throughout high school.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it went through a lot. My brother has went through a lot. I sometimes put myself in his shoes. I'm like, holy fuck, this. Like, my brother went through a lot of shit. I'm just like, damn, he saw his own father die at a young age, you know, being approached to that, and I thought that was big for me. But it was bigger for him. And now there's times where he sits down in the car and he's like, yo, like, I miss him. Like, he just says that out of nowhere. Or I played a song one time and he's like, this reminds me of him. And he was like, just crying. I'm just like, damn, I do miss him as well. But I always remind him that he kind of follows us, you know, his spirit is still with us.
Absolutely. Man.
Especially my uncle as well. I didn't see him as much or speak to him. He was definitely probably a smart person, just like my father. But yeah, it was unbelievable. Those times were so unbelievable. It was so out of the blue. And I saw my cousin after 6 years, because obviously we're related because both of our fathers were brothers.
Right.
His father was younger and my father was old. They both passed away. His father passed away, which is my uncle, 36. My father passed away at 38. Both of them had both of them were alcoholics.
Rest in peace, by the way.
Yeah, liver and kidney failure. That's how they passed away. My uncle had a chance. He said, "Fuck that. I just want to go to the other side." My dad said, "I miss my brother. Fuck this life," and he moved on and ended up the same way. And that was just out of the blue because my mom and dad had a break again. And then I thought they were going to see each other again. And then I remember my dad's last phone call. I was like, "Hello, who's this?" And it was like an unknown number. And he's like, "Oh, come on, you don't know who this is?" And I was like, "Oh, it's you." And he's like, "Yeah, it's me," blah, blah. And then my mom didn't want me to talk to him. And so that was the last time I spoke to him. It does hit me right now, just talking about it. But yeah, and I went through it. My mom, very hardworking person. She tried her best to fix my dad as a person, to get me to school and stuff, and to get me to where I am right now. And every time, like at least once a week or so, she says how proud of she is of me, that I'm doing music, going to school, and going to work and stuff. And after my dad passed, I never asked her for anything. Maybe if I'm sick, you know, give me a tissue or something, you know, obviously. But I never asked her for money, nothing like that. I've worked all my life for myself. Ever since my dad passed away, I've been working since I was 15. Yeah, I've been just working by myself from bunch of multiple different jobs. But yeah, that is my story. And
I worked at a few jobs too, bro.
Oh yeah, you know, it's just jobs, man. But going back to those lyrics, I do music, and I'm not that typical. I do pills, I do codeine, and that's how I'm gonna pass away. You know, I don't want to do that. I'm not into any of those things. And the other bar and the other line is making movies, making scenes. I definitely want to be a part of a movie. That's been my dream. Me and my dad always sat down, and sometimes I was like, I want to play games or something, right? And he's like, in Polish, I'm gonna say, he's like, "Synu, chodź tutaj." I'm just like, "Co tata?" And I come in, and he's like, "Chodź pooglądaj ze mną." Meaning, come here and sit down, let's watch TV. I said, "Oh, okay, cool." So then he would show me so many movies that he watched throughout the years and stuff like that. But the last movie, which is honestly crazy and kind of ironic, it was 8 Mile. That was the last movie I watched with him, like the same way as every time. That was the last movie we watched together, which is crazy to me because I was like, you know, that was the last movie. And we watched a bunch of different movies. We watched a bunch of movies with Harrison Ford. We watched a bunch of movies with Arnold.
Arnold.
Yeah, Arnold, you know, Sylvester Stallone, all the Rocky movies, obviously. A bunch of movies. Jean-Claude Van Damme. I don't know if you
Oh, that's a badass, bro.
Bloodsport and Kickboxer. Not a lot of people talk about that actor. I'm just like, is it because he has a very French Belgium name or what's going on?
He's so underappreciated. I like it. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Steven Seagal, before, everyone kind of hated on him and said a lot of bullshit about him, but Steven Seagal's movies are pretty fucking cool.
Shout out to Steve.
Yes, shout out to Steven Seagal. But yeah, everyone makes fun of his runs, and I kind of runs like this in the movies. But yeah, no, I watched a lot of movies, and to this day, movies to me are still a special thing. Like my dad, I remember this. He telling me, he's like, "Bro, I've been waiting for such a long time to be 11 years old, so you could watch rated R movies with me." I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm down. Like, I'm excited as well. So he would even watch, the first trilogy of Spider-Mans with Tobey Maguire. He would watch like a lot of the stuff I was growing up on. And then when we finally got into that, it was movies. And then ever since then, I was just like, dude, like I could literally mentally prepare myself just to play in a movie. Like I want to play in a comedic movie, a horror movie. I could play this fucking insane guy if you asked me to. Columbia Pictures, Sony production, hit me up. I'm trying to be an actor. Like I'll play any fucking role you want me to. Like I deadass would even play Carnage. Like I could play that if I really want to. I could prepare myself. Like, I have that mentality. I have a very strong brain.
And I actually like that, bro. You know what?
Yeah.
Because you're actually kind of giving me a little more confidence, bro. I feel like I want to kind of relate, bro. By the way, that's I'm glad you shared that out, by the way, bro. Very beautiful, bro. And I'm glad, you fought through it all. You are a warrior, bro. I just wanted to show you some love on that. Now, bro, what I've always wanted to be, I remember you told me this too, bro. And I get this a lot, bro.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons why I'm podcasting, bro. A lot of people are like, Tark, you should get on the mic. I'm like, in like music, like what are you talking about? I was like, bro, you should just get in front of a mic and just talk, bro. You just have like this voice, you just like, whether it's like WWE or acting, which you suggested WWE.
Dude, I swear I see you in WWE, man, just coming in. I am the champ. I just see that, man.
Hey, Hunter. Hold on to that belt of yours, because I'm not here to play your game. You're here to play my game. And you won't win the game, because I will. And that was a bit bad, but it's practice,
No, I want you to say it, like, I am the champ.
I am the champ.
Exactly. John Cena, you got no shot. No. Come on, do it, bro. You got to do it for the fans.
Hey, Cena, you got no shot.
That's not it. Do it again. You got to be like, John Cena, you got no title shot. Just got to say it like that.
Hey, Cena, you got no title shot, and I could definitely see you and through that phoniness of yours. There we go. You like that one?
See, that's better confidence.
I appreciate that. Let's move on, bro. Let's move on to the next part. Working my hardest, pushing myself up to the top like I'm Johnny Cage. Mm-hmm. Feeling like Broly. I feel the rage. Dragon Ball shout.
Yep.
Feel the pain like Kurt Cobain. Life in general, hard to maintain. Break this down for me and dive in deep on a creative buildup to the hardships of maintaining life itself. You had the Broly line, feeling the rage, and you had the feeling out top like Johnny Cage. So
those are like one of my favorite things throughout my childhood. I played Mortal Kombat at a very young age. It was even at the time, maybe some of you still remember TV games where you had to put 4 batteries in the back of the controller.
Oh, I had the SpongeBob, Spider-Man.
Yeah, I have never seen it on shelves. Only at this general dollar store or whatever it's called, right?
Yeah.
It's at a Tony's Plaza, and they had it and it was on the shelf. And it was TV games, Mortal Kombat. I'm like, damn, that shit looks badass. Let me get that. And my dad was like, yeah, here you go. Like, we'll buy it for your shirt. I'm like, let's go. And the controller literally had it was so raw. It looked like, if it was like premium made, it would have been made out of leather and all this shit. But, obviously it's just plastic. It was hefty ass controller too. It was huge. But yeah, I played Johnny Cage a lot. I played Liu Kang. I played all of them, except for like Sonya. I wasn't a big fan. I mean, as a game, in the movie she looked pretty nice, But I played a lot of Scorpion and Sub-Zero, obviously because of the colors and obviously they're ninjas. But Johnny Cage was also cool, I liked him a lot. So that's why I'm pretty sure it says somewhere like in the first Mortal Kombat that he was like the champion. He was the actual champion, and in the movies as well, the original like 1996 or one of the 90s movies. Johnny Cage won the tournament. So I was just like, yeah, I'll put Johnny Cage in there. And then Broly, obviously Dragon Ball Z. I grew up on Dragon Ball
Same here.
Z. Yeah, so I watched Z a lot more.
Not the first
And,
one. Yeah.
yeah, and I love that movie that they had, man. I forgot the movie.
It was one.
Remember that?
It was one of the most recent Broly movies, right?
No, the one before it. There was one that's like 90s, early 90s.
Oh, it was like the older one. It was like one of
Yeah,
the
it was
older ones, yeah.
badass. Where it was like, I think Gohan was still a little young or whatever, and
Yeah.
then like Goku was at his prime, kind of. You know, he was just beating his ass and shit. It was such like I love the vibe of it. It was so like I don't know. It was just nice.
He was this big jacked up dude. Just got mad because
wasn't there like Cooler in the movie?
there was a cooler movie. Yeah.
Yeah. But wasn't he in that movie?
No.
Wasn't there someone else in that movie too, or was it just strictly Broly?
It was Broly and there's one guy named Paragus who was a part of like
Oh.
a Planet Vegeta. Yeah, but he's like unforgotten character. He's like one of those vegetables you don't grab from the
Okay,
grocery
yeah.
store,
The
like Brussels sprouts. Like
Cooler movie was pretty fire though. That was so cool. Wasn't it the one with like it was like ice and stuff? Like they were fighting in ice, like kind of like a glacier, kind of.
that was with one of the androids, but
The androids, yeah.
But there was a point where they were like in like natural landscape. I really liked the name Cooler because you had Frieza was like the fridge, and you had like Cooler, and like I don't know, it was just cool. I thought
yeah, I know what you mean.
I thought they were going somewhere with it.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Now, what was
I
the-
thought there was gonna be a heater,
Like some like
global warming or something.
like
I
what-
don't know.
like this.
Yeah, some crazy.
What was the approach with the song Moshpit? Moving on, as it's definitely different from the other song we just chopped up about. We broke down as
Oh,
this
we forgot
song
to
is
break down Kurt Cobain. That's
Yeah.
from the last one. Sorry. Rest in peace, Kurt Cobain. I've been listening to Nirvana for quite a while now. I do like his songs and stuff. He was a maniac though. He could literally if you went to like the act like I watched like a biography about him. Like dude was actually crazy. Like this dude could play Joker if he really wanted to. If he wanted to take that route, like you know how he got his voice to be like very like yeah, like he would scream it. He would scream through his pillow really hard because like the shit that he was going through in his mind. Like he would scream so hard through his pillow. That's why he had that unique voice. Crazy.
maybe
Yeah.
is that why Nickelback has that too?
I don't know about Nickelback.
Look at this photograph. And it was just like, bro.
I don't know, man.
I feel like they had a similar method, but no, I think sometimes for some certain artists,
Yeah.
you kind of need that. You kind of need a couple of screw looses for that creativity. Like, and it's not necessarily a bad thing because, like, for example, like my all-time favorite basketball player is Dennis Rodman. Some people don't even know that. Like, oh, why are you a fan of Dennis Rodman? Like, he was so crazy off the court.
Oh, I love Dennis Rodman.
I'm like, well, that's the point, you guys. He was so crazy off the court.
Yeah.
Literally, Jordan came out and said, I don't care what dress he shows up in. As long as he's playing, as long as he gets all the rebounds for us tonight, that's all I care
That was
about.
Kurt
Because
Cobain as well.
when he
didn't
came
care.
on the court,
Yeah.
or Kurt Cobain stepped on stage, all business.
It was just your regular. Like they put on a show or put on a game, but they were like they had their own thing going on in their head. That's their thing. That's what I'm saying. Like you could be yourself, do yourself. And
Don't
that's
pretend,
that-
yeah.
Don't pretend. If you like to put nails on like paint on your nails or whatever, or like you like satchels and stuff, and people call you a girl for that or whatever. Who gives a fuck? Wear the fuck you want. Do whatever you want. And honestly, caring about people's opinions will drive you more nuts. Just do whatever you want. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, be you, be happy. We're in America. We have the opportunity.
Yeah, and they showed that throughout. And that's why a lot of people, not even knowing basketball, but they still love Rodman or Kurt Cobain. Maybe they haven't listened to his music, but they like what he did, like they popped off in like a bunch of different outfits, even like Dennis Rodman marrying himself, right? Wasn't that a thing as well? I was trying to say he did a lot of things that a lot of people didn't do.
That's why I went.
Wouldn't do that right in a regular thing, But yeah.
Now, I'm glad you touched on the Kurt Cobain one. It was very beautiful. What was the approach with the song Moshpit? Is definitely different from your previous songs that as we broke down? Because this song is more of like fun and getting you hyped, as what
Yeah.
it seems, correct?
Yeah, so that song is purposely for mosh pits. So like if I'm going on stage, that might be the intro for that song. Or I just want people to just, head bash each other. Obviously not. Don't do that 100%. But like actually just have fun, just push yourself with each other, like share that energy and stuff and go crazy, you know, just have that hype and fun moment. I've been through a lot of concerts. Went through Summer Smash, went through Lollapalooza, and I went to what's another one that went to? Spring Awakening as well, EDM festival, and I was a photographer. It was one of the best moments as well. But we'll go back to that another time. But Moshpit is a song just to have fun with, and it's very fast, has a different instrumental than but the other ones I have. It's more like simple, but you have the cadence and flow coming out of me, the bars and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's more, the name says it itself, Moshpit.
Absolutely. And what was different for me from this song, from the other two songs, was because the other two songs had like a little story to it. You know, it had the story, it had the message.
Yeah.
And there was a big message behind it. While this song is more fun, go crazy. How important do you feel, as we talked a bit about it earlier, to be different with certain songs? Because, you know, earlier you had songs where you were doing a storytelling.
Yeah.
This song is like, okay, you guys, just jam out to this, you know? You don't have to sit in your room and let's just get up on your feet and just jam out.
Yeah, so for me, I sometimes listen to music now. I don't care what you say. If it sounds good sonically, like I'm gonna bust a move, I'll jump around or whatever, you know, however I feel towards the music. Make my head bop and stuff. Yeah. Sometimes I just honestly don't want to listen to lyrics. Like I've heard enough today from people, and I heard enough in my own brain. So I kind of just want to listen to something that's really good sonically, maybe something more euphoric and stuff. But yeah, that one I just want it to be either like a gym song for people, or just to have fun at a concert and stuff. Whenever if you know, I'm gonna perform and stuff, I definitely want to, you know, express that. And definitely, like, people, when you come to my concert and I play this song, please
Go crazy.
Be out. Stop standing there like that. What are you doing? Actually move around and like have fun. You know,
Jump
when
out your
people say
shoes.
mosh, you mosh. You know, you're supposed to have fun, not just standing there like, bro, I feel goofy about this shit. Nah, bro, just go out there and
Jump
just
up
have
and
fun.
down, yeah.
Yeah, jump it up and down like a mosh pit. You know, just have fun, bro. Like,
Make sure you have some water, though.
Definitely stay hydrated. But obviously, like, please just have fun. This is where I talk. This is where we're going back to it now. See, this is a cycle. Now with confidence, that's another thing. People are so like, I see people perform, like, you know, the same level as me, or maybe higher, lower, whatever.
Absolutely.
And they have the same problem where people, like, the audience does not want to jump. They think they're too cool for it or whatever, or they don't want to engage enough. Like, the most they could do is put on a flashlight for you. If you put flashlights up, lights up, or whatever.
Or the stupid wave. Oh, like.
Oh, I would, like, even a wave would be cool. Honestly, just do whatever. Don't just stand there. Just look at the
Yeah.
person.
You hear this?
Oh, fire, bro. No, like, actually, like, have fun. Like, dude, yeah, let's go. Like, hype them up. Like, they have a lot of potential. They're sharing energy through their music, and so they're trying to share it to you, and stop being so,
For you
like,
to get lit.
closed with yourself. Like,
People listen to
express it.
Alex. He is literally speaking the gospel. He's
I'm
speaking
saying.
I'm with you on that. Now, lastly, Heart of a Lion, which I love this song.
Say myself, say myself, say myself, say myself. Been at the lowest point. I do anything to push myself, push myself.
A lot of people do. That's my most streamed song on Spotify. I'm so surprised. I did not think something like that would pop out like that.
And before you continue, guys, it will be in the link in the description. Check out Alex's Spotify. Check out his Apple Music. Check out his Instagram. Everything will be in the link in the description.
I'd appreciate that.
And yeah, Heart of a Lion was a great song. Now let's dive right into it. Got a Heart of a Lion. I'll do anything to save myself. Save myself. Save myself. Save myself. Been at the lowest point. I'll do anything to push myself. Push myself. Push myself. Now, lions are an animal known to be strong, prideful, you know, strong-hearted animals.
Exactly.
How important do you feel is it to have figurative language and utilizing it to be a part of your music in general? Because I think that definitely plays a role in your creativity.
Yes. So, Heart of a Lion. Lions do represent a lot. They're very protective of their families, as I am, as you, as anyone else. And so that's a huge thing. And plus, the way they, if you ever watch like National Geographic about them or read a book about lions, they do sleep a lot, but they will fight for their, against, hyenas or anything. They will do their best to get,
Or other lions trying to take their territory.
They do that a lot. And they fight for food. They fight for survival. They could go out.
Circle of life.
Exactly. They, like, even if there isn't water, they'll do their best to find their best source. And so, like you said, how lions fight against lions or how lions fight against hyenas or any other animal. They're very prideful. They're very powerful. And they will do anything that's in their way. They will conquer. They will do their best. And that's what I'm saying. I'll do my best to, even though if I feel low, if no one can help me, I got myself instead. So that's where I find my own resources, just like a lion does.
Absolutely. Hey, that's super sick, bro. And like you said, like utilizing figure language could definitely go like long ways with creativity.
Definitely.
For sure.
It's also a title of a Kid Cudi song too. It's a really good song.
I got multiple flows and rounds to shoot. Hair long, money long, like it's Medusa. Yeah, we are controlled by the media. Looking at each other, it's hideous. Going through bullshit, also meaningless. Now, what was really interesting to me was when you had the build of a Medusa line before saying, yeah, we are controlled by the media. You see what you're saying is the media itself is Medusa. And looking into the media space, it's this ugly, hideous space of cancel culture. People constantly complaining about what just happened in their 9-to-5 shift on Facebook. They just put it out there. And was my analysis correct? And how toxic is current media currently in your eyes? And could it even get more toxic than it is now? Because it's something to think about.
Yeah, definitely. Media has a huge impact to a lot of people nowadays throughout the whole world. I mean, the pandemic definitely hit a lot of people through their heads with social media, TikTok dances and stuff, which is not bad.
But it's repetitive.
It is repetitive, but there's also media that is also very annoying. Did you know Rihanna was wearing a pink skirt? Why the fuck do I care? Am I friends with Rihanna? No. Like, why are you telling me something so stupid,
Right.
So it's just so meaningless, and that's why a lot of, like, celebrities, they just hate paparazzi and stuff like that because they're just going to talk about nonsense, or they just don't want anything.
You saw always in their salad and they had some sort of cheese on it. Like, what?
Exactly, yeah. And, media has done it's good and it's bad.
Definitely bad.
Just like our city, there's good and bad. There's good and bad in all of us, TMC. But yeah,
if you listen to TMZ, I'm not judging.
A lot of things. Like, we could even talk about how Andrew Tate did some good and some bad. So like how the media catches the bad things he says. But I do watch some of his longer stuff, and he does say things that are truthful and things that actually can help with you. With your own life and how to become a better, male or even a person in general. He does say certain things that are good and but the media just grabs more of the bad things, They say, how he's so rich and he throws money and he has a Bugatti watch and another Bugatti and look at my Bugatti, and all this stuff. And he talks so bad about women and stuff. But
where's my coffee?
Oh, yeah, right? But yeah, there's just certain things with media that, like, if I ever become famous or anything, they'll do their best to have a story out of me. Or if you ever become famous, they'll try to get a story out of you that you said this one line and this one line actually connects to something else. But then they just said that you just said that part and that makes the whole thing terrible. Or something in the lyric that I said.
That's the scary part, man.
That is. I mean, the fans will always love you for who you are. When they heard you for the first time, or saw you, or watched you, they'll always have this feeling towards you that always will go back to you and listen to you. But yeah, media definitely has a lot of bad things, and I feel like not a lot of people can just take off their phones and actually have a conversation. They always have to go on their phone.
Give me a quick second when I share this real quick.
See what I'm saying? Like in the that's an example. That's a good example. I'm not saying you do that or anything like that. But they do that where it's like you talk to them, you're trying to talk to them, or you're trying to show them a song. Like show my friend a song, and he was listening to it halfway, and then halfway through it, he was looking on his phone. I'm not getting the reaction I wanted from him, or like he's like, I'm just like, bro, I'm trying to show you something that I've made and took some time off, spend some money on it and stuff like that. But yeah,
I really like the ending as it brought to light the connection to the heart of a lion.
mm-hmm.
Feeling lost, going through all my thoughts, coming across, see a better path for myself, go and walk, start to run, let faith come along, feeling lost, going through all my thoughts, got heart of a lion, I'll do anything to save myself. A few lines before I mention this one, you mentioned working for the minimum wage and looking for that raise. And it looks at that heart in this story is strong like a lion's to withstand this pressure that we feel in society, whether it's working a 9 to 5, whether it's, trying new things, where it's going on a date with this, super, pretty girl. Like you feel this pressure, but you have to have that heart of a lion. You have to have it. So
Certainly do. Yep.
My question to you is, how do you define this song in relation to you in your personal life?
Yeah, so there's, like I said, even earlier throughout in our podcast interview, I did feel lost, like after like my father's death and everything, and I definitely felt lost even during when he was alive. Like, who am I? What's my purpose? What am I supposed to do? Ever since I was a kid, I always asked myself, like, what is my actual purpose? Who am I supposed to be? I see, like, I watch movies.
Same here, man. Same here.
Yeah, like, I'd watch movies, I'm just like, damn, I always find their purpose of what they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to do. But who am I supposed to be? And so definitely college helped me out with that. And being with the girl that I found that currently is my girlfriend definitely helped me out as well. And my friends, my circle definitely helped me out, that I now call brothers instead of friends. They're so close to me, and I care for them as much as they care for me. I do anything, if it's, you being stuck in traffic and you need your battery to go up again in your car or whatever, I will definitely be there.
You just bust your ankle on a bike ride and you can't get up.
Yeah, I'll definitely take you to the hospital. And you're not gonna pay no ambulance fee.
Imagine, hey Alex, where you at, bro? What happened? I busted my shit.
Bro, help me, bro. No, I got you, bro. Obviously,
I'm by the hip.
Yeah. No. So what I mean by that is just like everyone has been through it, like feeling lost and going through these thoughts, but you damn well know that faith has something coming along for you, or at least you are your own angel, which I heard A$AP Rocky say that, and I was like, wow, I never thought about it like that. I'm my own guardian angel. And so you do your own decisions in life, and you are your own protector, but I see it as, someone else protecting me, obviously, spiritually.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what it means to me. I definitely had, to this day, I still have like lost feelings. I have like certain bursts. I don't know if you ever have this. Certain bursts, like when you wake up in the morning, or you're like, you've been up for so long and you're like, why am I like this?
Yeah.
You ever have that?
Yeah, I've had that before.
Who am I? Why do I do this? This is kind of stupid.
There's been times where, but for me, like, I think what pushes me to keep podcasting is the fact that I really want to differentiate myself from other podcasters because, like I mentioned earlier, I really want to put myself in another person's shoe. I really want, I'm not trying to make, things look easy, but I really, one of the biggest things I really want people to know about me is I don't like, even if I don't know you like that, it kind of it just makes me sad when I see people down, because I think there's too much potential around the world that's being wasted that could really change the world in a big positive way. And what I want my platform to do, and what your music is doing, is trying to inspire people. Like I mentioned earlier, you have to have a bad day to really know what a good day is. And I think some people miss that, and I always keep saying that. And that's the whole goal here, Spread our message, get people to stay positive, get people to tap into their potential, get people to realize, hey, yo, I have a purpose in life, you know?
Definitely.
And everyone has a purpose in life. Even if you may not see it, everyone has a purpose in life. And you have to have that heart of a lion, like you sang in that song, which leads me next to my ending. What's next to come with your music? Also, I'd love to ask, after now reviewing your recent music, where do you see yourself now with your creativity compared to how you start off your first tracks? Cutthroat, Chaos, and Isolation.
Oh, those songs.
Looking
Man.
back,
Yeah.
how far you feel you've come with your music and creativity? And also a little side question after this question to end off the show.
Yeah.
I did want to ask, what was it like to perform in the concerts, of course, and
Yeah.
what was the feels behind that? Go for it.
Yeah. So going back to those songs, those 3 songs that I released 2020, man, I definitely grew a lot. Holy crap. I stuck to one studio, and then Cutthroat was a different studio that I go to now. And that sound, I was trying to experiment. I was listening to a lot of Bones, Night Lavelle, Suicide Boys at the time.
Right.
So I try to have that same kind of like feel. Some people to this day like that song. I'm just like, cool. If you like it, you like it, you know. I definitely grew out of that person, not that same person or that same artist I was before. I was definitely more shy. As a person, as an artist, I was definitely shy. Like I was still like not confident with myself, still a little, you know. But now I just feel more prideful. I actually feel like
Uber confident.
you know, like a lion, you know, like I could actually conquer and do something about it. And so now with my music, like the way I see everything, the way I see how to write and stuff like that, like even when I listen to other people's music, other different artists, like I know how they started off writing or how I could tell if someone actually wrote too fast and stuff like that. I just know it because I've had so much.
That natural touch for the game now.
Yeah, like I know what you're trying to do, man. Like I could hear it throughout the song. I could tell who's rushing and who's taking their time throughout a song. I could tell that because obviously I've been doing recording for so long now, and got a lot of advice from engineers, from close peers, and that definitely helped me grow a lot, like crazy. Like when I showed Over the Limit and these other songs to my friend Nick, he was like, "Damn, this production is like way cleaner, way better. You sound better, flow wise and everything. Like you actually are putting in work, bro." And I'm just like, appreciate you, bro. Like I'm proud of myself. Like I know I could hear it with my own ears. Like it's actually fucking good. And so it's not like ass. Finally, like I don't think it's that like those 3 songs are that bad. It definitely has a message like Chaos, like love yourself, don't trust nobody else, just trust yourself, whatever. Isolation. I talked to one of my friends from high school.
I like that song. I don't know.
Yeah,
I really like that song.
He's a year older than me, and he's like, dude, I like that time the pandemic hit, and I dropped that around in May. I still remember.
Oh, that does that 50 episode.
And so he said I really related to that song. I'm just like, yeah, it's still like, I think on Apple Music still ranked number
Isolated
1
for 2 weeks.
Yeah, so he's still like a lot of people related to that song. He's like, bro, like I have other people from that I haven't seen in a while. They're like, dude, Isolation was such a bop, bro. I'm just like, yeah, but like I got better hits now. You know?
Like ISOing someone, it'd be a good basketball remix.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, it has its own. I mean, it's my first song. I'm still surprised that's how it sounded and the lyrics I had.
That was a song we talked about on Board Talk, bro, years ago.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
we talked about Isolation. I was like, how do you feel about Isolation? And then like we had those long pauses back in the day. So crazy. I've come such a long way, bro.
Yeah, that is wow. Yeah, it's been since then. That's crazy.
By the way, that episode was 4 years ago.
Nah,
it was 3 to 4 years ago, bro. 3 to 4 years ago.
nah, because Isolation was released,
2020?
Yeah,
So it was 3 years ago then.
So it was definitely 2 years ago.
Because I remember my podcast started on, you know what?
Nah, it was 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago.
There's a right of disagreement.
No way. Ain't no way. Nah, it was not 4 years ago. It has not. It's
No,
not
it definitely wasn't 4 years ago, but it was definitely
2 or 3.
2 or 3, yeah.
Definitely.
We're in agreement.
Yeah, now we're in agreement. Yeah. Yeah, those songs, I mean, people still like them. They like them. That's one of my older stuff, and had a different vision of them as well for those songs. Now it's more, like I said, I wanted more euphoric. You actually like if you
That's for
close
what's
your-
to come next, correct?
Yeah. So when you close your eyes, you feel the energy of the song. You feel uplifted. Exactly. Yeah. Like you could just feel it, bro. And
Right.
like you're gonna nod your head to it, and you're just gonna be like, "Damn,
Some
this shit
fugazi.
hits, bro."
Yeah.
Exactly. And then you're gonna be might have a tear or whatnot going through your like cheek, then to your chin and drops down to your lap. You're gonna be like, damn, that shit was beautiful. So that's how I want it. But obviously there's gonna be hard shit where it's like, damn, bro, like fuck, I wanna do some push-ups right now. You know how you ever watch a fucking documentary about a fucking like, I don't know, Conor McGregor, and you're like, fuck, bro, I wanna be that fucking jizzled. And just go at it. You know, that ever happened to you? Yeah.
That's happened to me before. Well, not personally McGregor, but my personal like.
Yeah, just anyone, you know?
Yeah, like for me, it would be like, it would be Luka Doncic. It would be that gets me inspired like with my work ethic. What got me into podcasting? Shout out to Joe Rogan, the GOAT of podcasting.
Dude, Joe Rogan, if you ever see this podcast, we need Joey Diaz on here, man. I just want to sit next to him and just be like, oh, you motherfucker. I just want to hear that right next to me. I just want to shake this man's hand.
I want to shake
through
his hand
so
too.
much. I love that. Love that Cuban motherfucker.
Oh my God, it was
fucking
so
raw.
good, man.
Yeah, he's
Oh
so
my
dope,
God.
man.
And I
go ahead.
think you highlighted what was it like for concerts, correct? You highlighted how that was like for yourself.
Yeah, so concerts, definitely one of my so I'm gonna bring it back to how I Spring Awakening, right? So I was a photographer. Me and Rafa, we just went and he got me a pass. He just told me, "Oh, get yourself a camera, rent it out, and you know, you could just shoot a couple of flicks, whatever, right? Just so you look more professional. Bring in a briefcase and all that stuff." I'm like, "Cool." So I rented out a camera. And then I do like photography. I still do. Like, I still love it. Like,
Oh, same here.
yeah. So if anything, like, I definitely want to buy my own camera. But there's like iPhones have basically almost everything. But having that camera is just so traditional. It's just so old school. You know, that feel is just amazing. Just to hold a camera. And but yeah. So the concert. So they had an after party. They showed us around like what it is to like go around and check out the concerts and stuff, where to go and where's food and drinks if we're ever like thirsty or hungry. So we went to the after party. It was in downtown Chicago, and they're like, "Oh, there's gonna be special guests." And we're like, "Okay." And then my friend was like, "Oh, they might be like G Herbo or something, like some Chicago rapper." And I'm like, "Oh, that'd be dope to even meet him and stuff." And then this guy performed on stage. I think his name was Cole or whatever. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name as an artist. All due respect. Cool guy. And he was rapping, he was freestyling, he was doing like impressions and stuff. And then he's like, "Go for it." And it was over a Jack Harlow beat. It was What's Poppin'. I took the microphone. I was like, "Dude, this is a chance to just fucking shine and go for it." And it was in front of executives of people that manage Lollapalooza, Spring Awakening, Summer Smash, and all them like big people. Like Lollapalooza's worldwide, obviously. So they were executives of marketing, selling tickets, how to get your name out there, and
stuff.
like people that are managers of other people. And I met the head, big boss. And I did it, and I was just like, I was so in the zone, and I saw everyone, and everyone was so like, "Nah,
That's an amazing
I thought
feeling.
this guy is just a photographer, and I
Oh,
was
some regular Joe.
so yeah, some regular kid. And then they were like, "Wow, you did better than the other guy." I was just like, "I don't know about that, but shit, if you say so." And he's like, "Yeah, you did such a great job and everything." I'm just like, "Oh, I appreciate that for sure." And yeah, I got to meet Common. I was literally on the same stage as Common, Twista, Vic Mensa, and Mario. So they're all Chicago artists. Obviously, art mixed with R&B and hip hop. But yeah, I met all of them. I shook up with Common, which is and also an actor. He played in John Wick. If you ever watched that movie,
That was a great movie.
I think John Wick 2. He's in it. So it was really cool to meet him. He's a big dude. I thought he was just like our height. Nah, dude, this man's hand was huge, bro. He was a big guy. Yeah, I wanted a picture, but he was on a run with his family and stuff. Security was such, I get that's their job. You
Yeah,
can't really
of
do
course.
much about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that experience was amazing. And now ever since I did that, I was like, man, I'm gonna host my own party. So I did
Built
my
up
own
confidence.
party. Yeah, I did more concerts, and then I did more after that. And I kept going and kept going. And obviously there's going to be more concerts coming up pretty soon.
You guys would be on the lookout for that.
Definitely. Most likely in the next couple months, for sure in the summer. I definitely want to try out different states as well. I definitely want to try out New York because I remember one of my supervisors was like, man, you got that New York sound. I'm just like, thanks, I appreciate it. But I definitely am expanding my sounds for sure to like drill and like R&B and yeah, New York beats are just amazing. Like shout out New York, like you guys are awesome. Like one of the biggest artists I look up to is A$AP Rocky. Like I definitely, want to meet him one day and just make a song with him. That's like my biggest dream.
True, absolutely.
Definitely, bro. He's definitely up there. I definitely just want to shake up with him and make a song. He's definitely big. Like he's big on with what I make and stuff because he's experimental as well as I am with flows and the beats that he chooses. Right. He's not this. He won't. He said in an interview like I know that there's stuff going on in the game. But obviously, like, he just sticks to his own thing. That's what I usually do, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, that was an amazing swim with Alex. It was a great time, great
Appreciate
discussion
you
with you,
guys.
man. It was a great, fun episode.
Yeah.
Definitely expect Alex on in the future. Be on the lookout for his new music. Be on the lookout for his concerts. Alex, I'm glad for you for coming on the show. I was so happy that you came on the show today.
Appreciate it.
It was a
Thank
pretty
you.
good swim. We stand from the Atlantic to the Black Sea. We'll see you guys next week.
See you
guys
next
have a great
time.
one.
Peace.
Jump it up and down like a mosh pit. Holla, jump it up and down like a mosh pit. Holla, paddock on my wrist like Uzi, chin like Scarface in jacuzzi.